welcome back to my channel. If you haven't done so yet, please hit the subscribe button. Today we have 11 great books to read that will lead you to wealth. I think it's a lot of good information that everybody needs to know because they're written by very successful people, some billionaires and whatnot. So for the first book that I'm going to touch on is probably a book everybody's heard of, Think and Grow Rich. Very interesting story about this book, Think and Grow Rich. So obviously I wasn't really born in a very rich family. About 12 years ago, I was playing tennis tournaments in Southern California. I didn't really have any money and I didn't really know how to make a lot of money. And I was playing this tennis tournament in Anaheim and I came across this kid that I was gonna play. And I was talking to him, the match hadn't started yet, and I was talking to this kid and he said that he lived in Beverly Hills. And I go, okay, great. And I said, okay, well, what kind of house do you live in? He was like, oh, I live in like a $20 million house. I go, what do you mean you live in a $20 million house? And I go, oh geez, like, you know, what does your dad do? And then he started to tell me exactly what his dad did. He said every single time when he would drive his kid to work, he said his dad would always be playing this book, Think and Grow Rich, over and over and over and over in the car. And I go, really? I'd never read it. I was like, okay, well, this guy who lives in a $20 million house in Beverly Hills, his dad is listening to this book over and over and over. Well, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna listen to this book, Think and Grow Rich, over and over and over and over. For the next year after that, I listened to that book over and over and over and over and over while I was working on my business by myself in my room. And I literally listened to this book 10 to 20 times. And I'll tell you what, information in the book, it changed the way I thought, and apparently it led me to be rich. So in the book, it talks about 13 principles of success. And within those principles, it literally tells you exactly what principles lead to success. One of the coolest things in the book is that it talks about when a creator of ideas and a seller of ideas join together in harmony, they can actually do something. So it takes a creator of an idea and a seller of an idea, and when they join together, then that's when the magic happens. Another very interesting thing in the book, to just summarize, that there's kind of like a hidden thing in the book that they don't really tell you. You have to kind of figure it out on your own. And I think that thing is desire, because they say it's within every single chapter. And I think that the real motivating factor that leads anybody to success is desire, or other people say it's hunger. So after, of course, I realized that you can just replay audiobooks over and over and over in your head, and apparently, you know, you learn the information, because they say you only retain like 8 to 10% of actually what you listen to. So you have to almost listen to something 10 to 15 times. So number 2 on the list is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Just a great book to tell you how to win friends and influence people. And basically it just summarizes, you know, like you gotta leave people better off than when you found them. And anyway, you gotta read the book, but great book. Number 3 on the list, 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. If you haven't heard about it, it's very famous. Basically says how to work 4 hours a week and live the life that you want. Now here's the kicker. I listened to it over and over and over and over and over, working in my warehouse by myself, and it actually came true. I had a 4-hour work week, but I realized that I was very, very unhappy because now I didn't have to work anymore, and while I didn't have to work, everybody was working, so now what am I gonna do? So I think there's a chapter in the book called Filling the Void, which I think I forgot to read, big mistake. So definitely, you definitely need to fill up your time. So be careful what you wish for, it will come true. Number 4 on the list, I really liked F.U. Money by Dan Lok. Something about Dan Lok, you know, I just like the book, you know, basically says you make as much money as you can so you can tell anybody in your life, you know, to just F off. It talks a lot about his entire story about making money and whatnot, and you need a lot of money basically in order to do things, and in order to help people, you need to make money. You know, you can't really help people without money. So I really like the book. Number 5 on the list, we got Shut Up and Listen by Tillman Fertitta. Great book. The guy's a billionaire, I think. He owns Landry's and Morton Steakhouse, and he has some casinos and a lot of restaurants, and basically just talks about how he started and runs this billion-dollar empire. So obviously it seems like a pretty good book. And the title, Shut Up and Listen, I mean, it's very self-explanatory. Sometimes really all you have to do is just shut up and listen after you ask somebody a question. Ask the question, then shut up and listen. Maybe I should come out with a book. Number 6 on the list, we have The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. I read this book, or I listened to it because I don't really read books. The Talent Code talks about basically how all these people got talent, and there's one story in particular in the book that is so cool because it talks about this little kid in a foreign country, and when he was a kid, he saw the World Series on TV, and he saw the winning a Dominican guy for the first time, or whatever it is, don't hold my word on if it's Dominican or not, hit a home run to win the World Series, and the kids saw that, and all the kids saw that in the country at an early age of like 6, and then all of a sudden, many years later, you have all these kids from the same country as that person now in the MLB. Why? Because they saw that at an early age, and then that's how their dream is shaped. So one person did it, and then everybody followed. So, anyway, there's a lot of other reasons how talent is built. Other than that, they talk about like expert coaching mixed with some other stuff. I can't remember. I haven't listened to the book in a while, but it's definitely something you need to know, because if you can understand how the talent code works, then that's how you know how to create your own talent. I know for sure they had 10,000 hours in there as well, but it's under supervised expert coaching, because if you're just doing stuff and you're not, sometimes have like experts, people around you, maybe you won't get it as good. You're just gonna keep doing like the same low quality behavior. But check it out. I haven't listened to it in like 5 years, 10 years, so sorry if I'm not perfect on it. Number 7 on the list, we have Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Talks about how people just are really good at things. I think Bill Gates was mentioned in it, and a lot of these people, and that they were all kind of growing up in the same time frame, in the same proximity together, and that's how they kind of came together. I haven't read the book in a long time, but I know it's a good one, so you gotta read it. And number 8, we have The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. And the cool thing about these habit books is that our habits shape our world, and so once we understand how our habits are formed, we can change them. It's very difficult to change habits, so in order to know how to create new ones is a very powerful tool. And there's a interesting thing about habits. There's based upon like a few different things, like there's a cue, and then there's a time and location. So let's say it's Friday night at 8 p.m. You're supposed to go out. Well, it's Friday night, it's 8 p.m. Where's the location? Somebody calls you, and then it leads you to go out drinking or whatever, and your whole night you're drinking, you wake up hungover on Saturday. Because your habit is shaped off that location, cue, the event preceding, person is involved with it, and I think there's something else like emotional state. So once you realize that all of those things are what's shaping your habit, you can stop that habit and create a new one, but you have to understand how habits are formed. Number 9 on the list, we have Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. Haven't read it in a while, but I do know that it's pretty self-explanatory. Sell or be sold. It's a pretty quick read, it's short, give it a shot. Grant Cardone works hard, so why not? Let's kick him back a little money. David and Goliath by Malcolm Gladwell for number 10. Really great book, because it basically tells you how David beat Goliath, and he beats him in a different way. He doesn't beat them at his own game. So he figures out a way to beat him, So like it's like a little army. How's a little army gonna conquer like a big army? And check it out. I haven't read it in a while, but I know it's for sure one of the top books. Lastly, we have Couldn't Forget About Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks owner, How to Win in the Sport of Business. Pretty cool, quick read. He's against PR companies. He doesn't believe in that. He only believes in customers. It's all about customers, and basically sales cures all. Sales will cure your business and all woes, so pretty quick read, and let's kick Mark Cuban back a little something, He's been giving us a lot of entertainment on Shark Tank for quite a while, so, And if you guys are liking the book suggestion so far, please smash the like button, helps me out.